Man, oh man, we just keep diving into ghosts of Edmonton's goaltending past, don't we? From Cam Talbot yesterday to now, Devan Dubnyk today. We are diving into the former Charlotte Checkers goaltender and some very interesting comments that he made a few days ago in regards to the Edmonton Oilers goaltending situation. Dubnyk is now 39 years old, which feels like a sin to go out there and say. Yeah, Devan Dubnyk is 39 years old, 6'6", 225 left-handed catching goaltender, initially drafted 20 years ago by the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, he was that long ago, I guess. Look at these awards over here. He got the Masterton, he got the Spengler Cup, he got the second All-Star team in the NHL once. Devan Dubnyk carved out a very good career for himself in the National Hockey League. .923 save percentage season with Minnesota in 65 games played in 16-17 was his peak. He was a .920 goaltender once with the Edmonton Oilers. He also had a bunch of .914s, .916s, .915s in the AHL. Devan Dubnyk was a very well-respected National Hockey League goalie, and for good reason, too. Oh my gosh, a .936 save percentage season in 39 games in 14-15? Yeah, he was really, really good in the mid-2010s. But, as a former Oiler, there are some interesting conversation points that Devan Dubnyk has gotten himself into. And the most recent one comes in the form of a video interview that you can go out there and read and listen to here. It's a video segment with the Hockey News, where Devan Dubnyk goes out there and says that Stuart Skinner takes too much blame. We forget that he is a young NHL goalie. Okay, let's go out there and read the scoop here from Devan Dubnyk himself. This article will be linked in the description. It was written and published by Michael Trakos. As he enters the final year of a contract that carries a $2.6 million cap hit, there are two ways of evaluating whether the Oilers should make a long-term commitment to Stuart Skinner. On the one hand, there were 38 other goalies who had a better save percentage than Skinner last season. But, in the past 2 years combined, only Florida's Sergei Bobrovsky has won more games in the playoffs. In other words, deciding what to do with Skinner and the Oilers' goaltending in general is not an easy decision, especially when you factor in how many other goalies have come to Edmonton and failed to find success. You know who did have success in Edmonton as a goalie? Devan Dubnyk. Okay, let's just go back over here. Yeah, it's true. I think the main underlying thesis about this thought process debates whether or not Stuart Skinner should be evaluated for his individual performance or for his results, because the guy is on the last year of a $2.6 million AAV contract. He needs an extension. He's 26 years old. He's young, but he's just coming off of an .889 save percentage playoff run. Yeah, he went out there and had 3 shutouts. Yeah, he went out there into Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals, but the guy was 7-7. He had almost 3 goals against average in that playoff run. Do you take a look at the wins? You take a look at the results? You take a look at how many games he has played and you evaluate him from there? Or do you say that that is a byproduct of the team that he plays for? There are a number of ways you can attack this discussion now. Let's go and read what Devan Dubnyk goes out there and says on the video interview. Stuart Skinner is dealing with pressures that nobody else is dealing with. Former NHL goalie Devan Dubnyk, who spent the first 5 seasons of his career with the Oilers and now runs a goalie mentorship program called Devan Dubnyk Development, told The Big Show this week. That's part of the territory that you deal with in playing for a Canadian market. Stuart Skinner has done a really, really impressive job of handling it. Skinner might not be anyone's pick to win the Vezina, but he has guided Edmonton to back-to-back appearances in the finals. That's something that neither Talbot, Koskinen, Smith, or Campbell can say. Skinner's got more playoff experience than 3/4 of the league is ever going to have, said Dubnyk, who also added that Skinner is also just hitting his prime. Now, Talbot was pretty good. Koskinen was meh, Mike Smith was really hit or miss, and Jack Campbell was not great either, so quite the list of company to be in for Stuart Skinner, I would say. Yeah, it's been a while since the Oilers had a really, really amazing game-stealing stud of a goalie, I would say. We forget that Skinner is a young goalie. It feels like he's been there a long time, but he's only 26, and he should be entering the peak years of his career right now. I honestly debate, and I question how far Stuart Skinner can go from here. We understand that goalies are voodoo. We understand that goalies rarely hit their primes until they're in their 30s. But for Stu Skinner, it's been kind of backwards. Like, when he debuted with the Oilers earlier on and he became a full-time guy in 22-23, this was good. I mean, 50 games played, .914 save percentage, that's solid. He only had one shutout, which is a lot fewer compared to the 3 that he had in the playoffs this year, but still, Stu Skinner looked like the next best thing at 24 years old, stepping into the crease, being a full-time #1 for Edmonton. You gotta remember, he ended up beating out what was Jack Campbell for the starting job that year. And yeah, he had no choice but to do well, because Jack Campbell was really crapping the bed over there too. .888 save percentage, man. I mean, I remember this playoff run too, very vividly. You can look at Campbell's playoff run and say, oh wow, he had a .961 save percentage and a 1 goals against. But he didn't get any wins, because he came in relief in these games. It wasn't like, oh, he was stepping up in the playoffs. No, he just had a lot of really good moments to step in and actually play. He went 1-0-0 in that playoff run in 4 games played. He was there in relief for the majority of the time. Stuart Skinner has just been getting worse and worse. .914 in 23, .905 in 24, .896 in 25. Like, he's hitting his prime, okay. You could say that age-wise, he'll be getting up there into his best of his ability type of role, but he's getting worse statistically, and I don't know if there's any positive trajectory for him heading into the next little while here. Let's go back over onto the article and continue on. That experience that Skinner has had hasn't always been positive. He went 26, 18, and 4 in the regular season, but he was so shaky in the first round of this year's playoffs that he was pulled after allowing 11 goals in games 1 and 2 against LA. It took an injury in the second round to back up Calvin Pickard, who had gone 6-0, for Skinner to eventually reclaim his net. To Skinner's credit, he posted back-to-back shutouts against Vegas and allowed 10 goals in 5 games against Dallas before losing to Florida in the final. Do you know how easy it would have been to fold the tent there? Dubnyk said of Skinner's performance when Pickard got hurt. The amount of pressure that was going into the next game, and he pulls back-to-back shutouts. Like, that is an impressive feat, because that was such an impossible scenario to come in with, Pickard being the local hero. Unfortunately for Skinner, he was unable to be the hero as the Oilers lost 4-2 in a best-of-7 series to Florida. The back-to-back losses in the finals led to suggestions that the Oilers should spend the summer finding an upgrade for Skinner, or at the very least, someone to come and share the net with him. So far, however, the team has decided to roll things back with its 2 goalies. Now, I will say I'm recording this audio on Saturday, August 23rd, so there is the possible chance that the Oilers already do have their new goalie in time, but yeah, I'm gonna take the risk anyway and upload this video a week later. So, Devan Dubnyk does raise some really interesting talking points in regards to Stu Skinner, how this guy has so much experience, how this guy has played in the most difficult of scenarios, and how this guy, at some points, was able to really take a stranglehold on that and be productive and be good and post up back-to-back shutouts against Vegas before being just a monster against Dallas. It was a very interesting up and down campaign for Skinner. Really bad to open things up, really elite to get the middle of things going here, and then just kind of crap the bed a little bit later on there too. So, yeah, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Stuart Skinner, and whether or not we as hockey fans are too hard on this guy? Is it his fault? Is it our fault? Is it the Edmonton Oilers' responsibility to cultivate this roster for him and to keep him around so that he can have his prime years with the Oil? How do you feel about the Skinner conversation and what Devan Dubnyk said about him? Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.